This right here is a $5 knife. This is a $25 knife. This is a $50 knife. And this is a $155 knife. We are going to talk about the differences in between them and whether or not you should spend more money on a nicer knife. Alright, we got all four choices here. We're going to rock right through them. First up, we got a San Renmu. This is a straight from China knife. Got this off Amazon for $6 shipped. Don't let the price fool you. This has been a wonderful knife. It's extremely light, little G10 scales, liner lock, pocket clip, little lanyard hole, Tanto blade. Yeah, this is actually a great little knife. For $6, you can't go wrong. You can buy an absolute piece of crap knife for $6, but if you look around and you find some of these Chinese companies that are producing, honestly, pretty great stuff for the dollar. Thumb stud for opening, pretty great ergonomic design with these two little finger choils or finger holes. Great little knife. Would I recommend you buy this? Honestly, yeah. I keep this thing in my car most times, and if I forget to bring another knife out with me, this goes in my pocket. Also, if I'm going on a little run or a bike ride or something and I want to carry a knife on me and I don't want something heavy, this is so light you could put it in a pair of gym shorts on a clip and you would never know it's there. So, cool little knife. I recommend this. I bought a couple of those for family, friends, just gave them away as presents. They were so cheap. Next up is this Kershaw. It is an assisted opening Kershaw. This one came in at $25 or $35. I actually found this one at a thrift store. Paid $5 for it, but looked it up on Amazon. They are still available at $25 to $35. The model is a 1830. Any of these that are available, I'm going to be putting a link for the Amazon or eBay or wherever you can buy them in the video description below. So if you really like the look or the perceptive feel of these guys, then you'll have a link to just go down and click and buy them. So Kershaw 1830 I'm pretty sure this is glass reinforced, the fiberglass reinforced nylon. It's a little bit heavier duty plastic, fancy way of saying that. Liner lock, pocket clip, assisted opening, pretty light knife. Great all in all. The blade was super sharp, even when I found it at a thrift store, sharpened it up, and it has held a great edge to it. So all in all, great knife. Is it worth the $25? Absolutely. Fantastic ergonomics. That little flipper works as a wonderful finger stop. I love this knife. I carry this knife most days. It can take plenty of hard work, and honestly hasn't failed me yet. So, great knife. Love this little Kershaw. Cheap knives do not mean bad knives. You just gotta look at what you're buying, who you're buying it from. Next up, we have this Emerson, made by Kershaw. And this number is a, let's see, 6034. This is the first we're looking at with a frame lock, so the actual whole side of the scale. Pretty sure this is all in 6061 aluminum. Same deal with this front scale. Looks like it's G10, but that is actually aluminum as well, or some sort of metal. I'm fairly sure it's 6061 aluminum. Hardware on this guy actually kind of frustrates me because it has a flathead screwdriver, stupid. For the blade, it should always be Torx. Knives should always have Torx. There's no reason that should be a flathead. But that's really my only gripe about this knife. It is extremely heavy duty. Pocket clip has a great design. The blade is nice and chunky. It's got this Emerson disc and wave on here. The disc is just an ambidextrous way of opening it up with your thumb. And then this wave up here is actually for when you're holding it in your pocket. Imagine it's in your pocket vertically like this. Well, as you're pulling it out, your edge of your pocket catches this little wave as you're pulling it out, and it opens the knife for you as you're pulling it out of your pocket. Pretty cool design. I thought it was a bit gimmicky until I bought one and I found myself actually using it to deploy the blade. So this one comes in at $50 or $55, still available on Amazon. I'll put the link below. And is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. This is another great knife. It is definitely a heavier duty build than either of these two. This is what goes in my pocket if I am going out on a long hike, and I know I might do some whittling, or things that are a little bit heavier duty that I do not want to trust a liner lock to. This frame lock here, solid metal construction, puts a little bit more faith. And as well as the ergonomics are absolutely wonderful, because this little wave and the jimping on the wave gives you a really, really solid lockup on the back of this blade, and they even put jimping on the interior of the frame lock. Same deal on the back of the frame, so despite it being an all-metal knife, there is lots of tack to it when you put it in your hands. Get a good grip on it. So I love this knife. This is a great knife. Would I recommend it for $55? Absolutely. Really can't lose there. Last, and certainly not least, we have a Spyderco Endela. This has the Warncliffe blade, as you can see, and it is in K390 blade steel. You can see my name is engraved on this one. This is actually a gift from Sal Glasser, who is that's his signature right there. You'll see that on most Spyderco knives, well, at least those that are of his design. He is the founder of Spyderco and still the head designer, and an all-around awesome gentleman. I met him through a shooting range that we both frequented, and yeah, we just got chatting about blade steel, and he ended up gifting this to me a little while later. Just great man. Anyway, about the knife, I say that about him because I am a big Spyderco fan, and his designs, I always looked up to his design prowess. He really does something special when it comes to making utilitarian knives for a purpose, and doing arguably some of the best jobs in the world at it. So yeah, that aside, here we go. This is the Endela. We got glass reinforced nylon, so the FRN handles. We have a rear frame lock, which is a extremely sturdy lock, comparative to, if not more sturdy than the frame lock. I would say mechanically, I think when people do the tests, rear back locks that sync with the rear of the blade versus a frame lock, I believe these back locks do a fair amount better, depending on what the handles are made of, etc. I digress. This right here is a wonderful knife through and through. It came razor sharp. The hardware is top notch. The pocket clip, top notch design. Blade, top notch. Ergonomics, top notch. So when you pay $155 for a knife like this, you might ask, do you really get your money's worth? And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, you do. There's definitely places where you can go and spend $155 and not get your money's worth. But if you go to a reputable company, this Spyderco definitely being one of them, definitely not the only one out there. There's hundreds of amazing knife companies out there in the world, but you absolutely can get your money's worth for $155. Is the blade going to retain its edge for a fair amount longer than the other ones? Yeah, it actually will. Will it get sharper than the others? Yes, it will. Is the hardware heavier duty, easier to maintain than the others? Yes, it absolutely is. Are there really cool design features like being able to flip the pocket clip back and forth and to either side, so you have a four-way possible pocket clip, just depending on how you like to hold your knife. These little design features where you can tell someone really genuinely thought through the knife. That's what you're getting when you pay over $100 for a knife. You're paying most of the time for the designer of the knife. Someone who really took the time to make sure that every little detail, not just some of them, but every little detail was dialed in. And yeah, this is a great example of this. I absolutely love this knife. I carry it frequently, I use it frequently, it still looks absolutely brand new. I could beat it half to death, and I'm sure that I would. And it would still look brand new. And even if it wouldn't, these are the type of knives that they would still function like they were new. So, I digress. I'll wrap this up by saying, or rather concluding, by talking about, is this and this really that much different? Well, yes and no. In actual quality of build, a Spyderco or either of these Kershaws is going to be nicer, or higher quality rather in build than this little $5 San Renmu. It's also going to be a little bit, or rather, sometimes a bit sturdier when it comes to the general construction. So where this might have a little bit of blade play, and I'm sure I could always tighten it up, but then it might be harder to open and close because the tolerances aren't perfect, you know? So, little details. Does this work? Will it get sharp? Yes, absolutely. Will it get as sharp as the Spyderco or either of these Emersons? It's kind of cheap steel and it loses its blade, its edge pretty quickly. So, for $5 or $6, if you're looking to open up letters or chip bags or whatever it might be, or cut zip ties on things, this will get the job done great. Throw it in your pocket, $6. Love it. Can't complain. If you want something a little bit nicer, maybe a little bit safer in the hand, yeah, spend $25. What's $25 on a tool that you are going to be carrying just about every day of your life? $25 is a great place to be at for a knife nowadays. And if you want to spend a little bit more, just know that for $50 you are going to get a little bit nicer of a build in most cases, and depending on what you're using the knife for, I would recommend spending a little bit more. I would say if someone said, hey Ian, you can only have one of these two knives, I would absolutely go for this heavier duty Kershaw, because this can do everything that this can, but this cannot do everything that this can. So if I were going to choose between these three, I'd be choosing this Emerson right here. And here's where it gets goofy. Which of these two would I choose? Well, that's tough. Because if it was for the rest of my life and I could only have one knife, I would choose this Spyderco, no question about it. However, if I'm gonna go out on a hike and I know I'm gonna just beat the crap out of something, I'm probably gonna whittle, I might dig in the dirt, and I'm gonna abuse it, despite this Spyderco being able to take that abuse, no problem whatsoever, I'm probably gonna bring my $50 Emerson that I can hop on Amazon and buy again at the drop of a hat and not really care about. So, are there diminishing returns? Sure, I can go spend $1,000 on a knife that does the exact same things that these do, that might be a little bit nicer materials or maybe fancier design, or by a famous designer. Is it going to be that much nicer of a knife? It's tough to say. Sometimes maybe, a lot of times not. I would say get yourself a pocket knife, spend an appropriate amount of money on it. I hope this video gives you a little bit of an idea on what that might be as far as appropriate amounts. And if you want to spend the higher dollar on a nicer knife, just know that you absolutely can get your money's worth. And for goodness sake, if you buy something nice enough, you might hand it down to your kids one day. Very likely will. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this sort of thing, I know it's kind of new for me here, but please give me a recommendation in the comments, or just any other knives or stuff you might want me to review and give my opinion on, and I would more than happily cover it. I appreciate you if you have made it this far in the video, know that I very well can go on some tangents. I hope you don't mind it too much. Until the next one, love ya. Hit subscribe. Please hit the bell for notifications when I'm going to be putting out a video just about every day from now on. So yeah, hit that notification button, hit subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment below, let me know what you want me to look at, review, or talk about next. And until the next one, I love ya. I will see ya later.